My name is John Thuma. I've been in data for about 30 years. That's all I've ever done. I know what you're thinking. What an interesting guy. 30 years in data. You name it, ETL, from profiling to business intelligence to data science to just about everything you can talk about in this industry I've been in and have been a part of. From hands on the keyboard to working with vendors. Right now, I am Director of Solutions, BI Solutions for Arcadia Data, which is a startup out of San Mateo, California. And we are a BI provider for Hadoop. So we're the only native BI Hadoop provider in the industry right now. So that's
Awesome.
me.
Well, thank you, John, for being on Humans of Data Science. What happened 30 years ago to get you so excited about data?
You know, that's interesting. I think I fell into my first project was a business intelligence project. And there was no business intelligence. The term hadn't been coined yet. MicroStrategy was just a desktop client, right? There was no intelligent server like they have now. There was no semantic layer. You kind of just built your analytics almost like Excel with drag and drop features. And we actually built out a middle tier. My company was one, and I was 26 when I started my own company, was one of the first companies to actually build a middle tier. And if I'd known what I had back then, I might be the next MicroStrategy or something like that. So I kind of blew it. I didn't know what I was doing, and I just threw it away. So that's how it all got started, and I just never looked back. I mean, it's always been there. I've always worked on big data projects. Before the term big data even existed, we used to call it very large databases, the LDBs, if you're familiar with that term. And even before that, it was just, how do I get a bunch of data into a computer? Because really, so that's how it all started. Really exciting stuff.
Interesting. So tell me more about this Arcadia Data. You said it's a startup. Is it a big startup? How long have you guys been around?
We've been around for about 6-7 years now. We've got about 40 customers, and they're all really significant customers. They're names you've heard of, like Procter & Gamble and things like that, Citibank. We are the only native BI vendor on Hadoop, which means we run native in the cluster. There's no movement of data off of the cluster. So there's no need to move data to a Spark server. There's no need to move data to a semantic layer, right? Everything is resident inside of the data nodes. And then we have something called Smart Acceleration, which allows us to speed up our dashboard. So I can take something against very large record sets and in a fraction of time can make that dashboard come back in seconds, where our competitors can't. So that's how we're different. And it's you have the full single pane of glass. So everything from designing your semantic model to designing your data connections to shaping your data to building your dashboards, building and drag and drop, everything's zero code, to, securing and building out, email alerts and things like that can all be done from one place. So there's no need to jump around to tools. The other thing that's neat is we're the first BI provider to build a Confluent KSQL connector. So if you're familiar with Apache, Kafka, and Confluent built a KSQL interface, which allows SQL queries to go against Kafka streaming topics. So very exciting because it really opens up the world of real-time analytics to the masses and to a wider audience. So really exciting stuff.
Great. And how has the client reception been to this product?
It's fairly new and it's taking off, and we've got a lot of interest in it, obviously. It's very new. I mean, Confluent just announced this maybe 2-3 months ago. So, it's blossoming. We're all over the place. You can see a lot of press about it. Our customers are excited about it. And the neat thing is that, it like I said, it really brings something that was very difficult, lots of technology challenges to building a Kafka topic and then making event-based alerting and analytics available to business users. And I think that's what's attractive to our customers. That makes sense.
Yep. Cool. So I read in your LinkedIn profile that Arcadia works with data lakes. Can you just talk more about what the data lake is and why it's useful?
Well, data lake, it used to be, if you go back 6-7 years ago, the data lake was synonymous with Hadoop, right? So everything was, build a Cloudera instance, a MapR instance, or a Hortonworks instance, or, and then I start storing data, and I have my MapReduce program and stuff like that. So I have my storage and compute together. Now that is kind of changing and evolving into, you've got your S3 on Amazon Web Service, you got your ADSL on Azure, you have your own private on-premise kind of data lake. So it doesn't necessarily, you're seeing now the evolution of storage and compute kind of separating again. Mm-hmm. So we actually allow, through our Arcadia engine, the ability to connect in and build direct connection to S3 data structures. So, and data stores and ADSL as well. So it's cool stuff. So to me, that's what the data lake is. And so another thing is that I worked for Teradata for 5 years at the Astra Group. So I know a lot about structured data, highly structured data. What the data lake allows you to do is look at different varieties of data, obviously, and different velocities of data coming in, and volume, just massive scale of data. So, now I can look at XML, I can look at complex data types and things like that, which is another feature we do. We allow you through Arcadia Data to actually query without having to transform and flatten out your data in a complex structure like an XML document or a Parquet document, the ability to do analytics on those data structures. Mm-hmm. So that's a big differentiater for us.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Did I answer your question, or
yes.
probably take a little too far?
No, you're good. You're good. So, John, in preparation for this interview, I dug up an article that's about 2 years old that you wrote called "Hiring a Chief Data Officer. Here, 5 must-have and 5 must-avoid skills." So, I wanted to see if you can just give us an example of a desirable and non-desirable skill of a Chief Data Officer.
Yeah, I think today's Chief Data Officer is one of the most critical positions an organization has. They really don't know what it is yet, and they don't understand that data is the best asset, one of the most valuable assets that an organization has. And so hiring the right person to lead that organization is really critical. And I think this person has to have a blend of skills such as, the ability to be an innovator and to disrupt and to not see things the way they were. They have to swim in a world that is penny wise and because we've all tried to reduce IT over the last 20, 30 years is really tried to reduce its cost. Mm-hmm. And it's really focused on how do I reduce systems? How do I avoid cost? How do I do this? Well, data science and the way we're going to go is that you're either innovating or you're going to be out of business soon. If you look at the Fortune 500 list from 30 years ago and compare it to the one today, it's very different. And it's because of innovation and the lack of innovation. But you got to be a gamer. I think, there's lots of things you have to be, such as, have fun, make it interesting, make every day a place where people want to come to work. And when you do that, it really makes a big difference. So I think some of the traits you want to avoid are, I say nerd for all the wrong reasons, just somebody who wants to be a technology zealot, that is not a do-it-yourselfer, somebody that's never put their hands on a keyboard, someone that's never done anything. And also, they believe in nepotism and cronyism. I think those days are over. We cannot hire people that we're afraid of hiring. We have to hire people that are a lot smarter than us. The data scientists of today are excellent mathematicians and programmers, and they're completely different from the data people we needed 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So that to me are the things you want to avoid. So out of the list. So
great, thank you. And I'll share a link to the article so people can read it and see the other characteristics. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Thanks for bringing that back up. I haven't read that article in a long time. It's really, really neat to read. So I maybe should update it.
I think it's still good for. I mean, it's only 2 years old. It should still be fine.
Right.
So John, the last question I had for you today was, what do you like to do outside of work? So for spare time.
All right. So I love to travel. I just got back from Bulgaria with my family last week, and so we were there for a while, and we have tons of friends there, and it's just a different society. It's a different culture, and so that's one thing I love to do. I love to cook. I love to hang out with my family. I have 2 children. The one's not a child anymore, she's 29, and then I have a 15-year-old and stuff like that. And I love to read and I love to write. And I'm just a home guy. I love to be at home with my family. So I guess screwing around on the golf course, I'm terrible at it, but I still try. But and I just got a Fitbit, this thing has changed my life quite a bit. I actually am out at least 15,000 steps a day now. So it's
wow, that's
yeah,
great.
yeah. It's really, my daughter got it for me. My daughter's an MD. My daughter's a medical doctor.
Okay.
And she got me one of these for my birthday last year. And it's totally changed my life. She's like, Dad, all you do is sit around and play on the computer. You need to get out and walk. So she's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, we just started a 100-mile in the month of August challenge today. So myself and 25 other individuals are now running 100 miles for the month of August.
Yeah, I saw that you're a marathon runner, correct?
No. I signed up for the marathon. Does that?
I've signed up for a couple of those too.
I have yet to run. It's in November, so hopefully after that I can say I'm a marathon runner. We'll see.
All right. Well, good luck to you. That sounds cool. But the 100-mile, I'll walk it. I'm not running it because, being in the age that I am, the joints don't keep up. Take good care of your joints.
Yes. All right, John. Well, thank you so much for making time for Humans of Data Science.
No, great. Thanks, Kate. I appreciate the time and the effort. Appreciate it.